$2 million offer, how my father-in-law tried to buy my silence. When wealth meets desperation, even family bonds can be tested in unimaginable ways. I never imagined that a casual lunch invitation would turn into the most pivotal moment of my life. My father-in-law, Richard Chen, a real estate mogul worth billions, sat across from me in his penthouse office with an envelope that would change everything. Inside wasn't a gift or a bonus. It was a contract to erase me from his son's life. What he didn't know was that I'd learned to protect myself months earlier. Every word he spoke that day was captured, preserved, and would eventually become the evidence that exposed the truth about power, manipulation, and what really matters in life. The perfect life that wasn't. Life with Daniel seemed perfect initially, a loving husband from a wealthy family who appeared accepting. However, subtle tensions emerged as his parents, particularly Richard, treated me as an outsider. Patricia made condescending remarks about my background, while Richard remained coldly polite, discussing Daniel's future as if I didn't exist. Despite my MBA and career, I was invisible in their world of inherited wealth and status. Daniel loved me, but had been conditioned to navigate his parents' expectations carefully, creating an unspoken tension. The marriage revealed a harsh reality. I would forever be judged inadequate by people who valued pedigree over partnership. These weren't just personality clashes, they were calculated reminders of my lesser position. The unexpected summons. Richard's assistant's call requesting a private meeting immediately triggered alarm bells. In 2 years of marriage, he'd never sought one-on-one conversation. The formal tone and timing, right after Daniel mentioned starting a family, felt ominous. Daniel remained optimistic, suggesting his father might want my professional input, but I couldn't shake the dread. Arriving at Richard's downtown headquarters, a towering glass monument to his empire, reinforced the power imbalance. Being escorted to the executive floor with its commanding city views felt like entering a throne room. Every detail seemed designed to intimidate, from the expensive artwork to the hushed atmosphere. This wasn't a welcoming family conversation. It was a summons to his territory. The offer. Richard's directness was chilling. Without preamble, he presented a manila envelope containing a contract and $2 million cashier's check. The terms were brutal. Divorce Daniel within 60 days, sign extensive non-disclosure agreements, relocate over 500 miles away, and eliminate all family contact. In exchange, financial freedom. His justification was almost parental. I was young enough to start fresh, while Daniel would find someone more suitable. That word, suitable, crystallized everything. Despite my credentials and genuine love, I simply didn't fit their legacy requirements. Richard's calculated offer revealed how wealthy families protect their dynasties by eliminating complications. His calm delivery made it transactional, as if purchasing my absence was just another business negotiation. The decision to record. Leaving Richard's office, instinct told me this wasn't merely about quiet departure. He was controlling a narrative, ensuring only his version existed. That realization prompted immediate action, purchasing a recording device and researching state recording laws. Single-party consent meant I could legally document conversations without disclosure. Scheduling a follow-up meeting with questions about contract terms, I arrived with the recorder running, determined to capture everything. The offer, his reasoning, the contempt masked as generosity. Richard appeared pleased, misinterpreting my return as acceptance. His confident demeanor revealed someone accustomed to buying solutions to problems. When I asked why exactly I was unsuitable, I was giving him rope to hang himself with his own words. The truth comes out. 23 recorded minutes revealed Richard's true philosophy. Daniel required strategic marriage alliances with equal status families. My middle-class roots, state education, and limited connections weren't just inadequate, they were liabilities. He'd already identified replacement candidates from established families who understood their world. Most disturbing was discussing my potential children as business assets requiring proper pedigree. His concluding statement, that being nice isn't enough, encapsulated everything wrong with his perspective. The recording captured his dismissive cruelty, his transactional view of family, and subtle threats about making life difficult if I refused. He could damage my career, manipulate Daniel through family pressure, or deploy other options. These weren't empty warnings. They were promises from someone accustomed to removing obstacles. Confronting Daniel. Playing the recording for Daniel was devastating. Watching his expression shift from confusion to disbelief to profound pain as his father's words destroyed illusions about family love, it was almost unbearable. The recording revealed not just manipulation targeting me, but how his parents viewed Daniel, a chess piece in dynasty building, not a son with autonomy. Daniel's immediate confrontation with his father became explosive. Richard cycled through denial, justification as family protection, then admission he'd repeat it because someone had to think about the bigger picture. That phrase crystallized everything. People were subordinate to legacy preservation. Daniel's demand for space from his father and family wealth marked a turning point. His tears that night weren't just about betrayal. They were grief for the father he'd imagined versus the calculating businessman who actually existed. The fallout. Subsequent months tested everything. Daniel and I moved to a modest apartment using personal savings while he joined an independent architecture firm after resigning from the family business. Patricia's calls oscillated between fury at my supposed manipulation and pleading for Daniel's return. Richard deployed lawyers with new offers, first buying my silence, then mediation with strings attached. Consulting an attorney confirmed the recording's legality, but warned that public release would trigger expensive legal warfare. The recording was leverage and protection, but weaponizing it would confirm Richard's accusations about my motives. Instead, my attorney sent a strategic letter outlining what we possessed, clarifying that interference would result in wider distribution. The threats stopped, calls decreased, lawyers went silent. I held something more valuable than $2 million, documented truth in Richard's own words. Building something real. 2 years later, life has transformed completely. Daniel's parental relationship remains strained but civil. Holiday cards, occasional calls, firm boundaries. No apologies came, but interference stopped. Richard told extended family I declined a generous gift for career pursuits, spinning narratives to protect his reputation. We permitted that fiction. Our current life bears no resemblance to what Richard tried to purchase me out of. It reflects what we genuinely wanted. Daniel creates community space designs rather than luxury developments. I built a consulting business helping small companies achieve sustainable growth. We're comfortable, independent, and authentically happy by our own standards. Discovering my pregnancy prompted deep conversations about parenting values and what we'll teach our child. Love isn't transactional, people aren't commodities, and real family stems from respect and choice, not obligation and inheritance. The things money can't buy. Looking back, I understand what Richard never could. Wealth doesn't create worth, and money can't manufacture meaning. He saw relationships as contracts, family as a business structure, and love as something that could be outbid. The recording I made wasn't just evidence of his manipulation. It was proof that some people view others as obstacles to be removed rather than humans to be valued. The moral of this story isn't about revenge or vindication. It's about recognizing your own value when others try to price you out of your own life. Richard's $2 million was designed to make me disappear because he couldn't see past his own narrow definition of worth. But I didn't need his money to prove I belonged in Daniel's life. I needed the courage to stand firm in who I am. To anyone facing similar pressure from powerful people trying to control your choices, document everything, know your rights, and remember that you can't negotiate with people who see you as disposable. True family, the kind worth fighting for, is built on mutual respect, not transaction receipts. The best revenge isn't exposing them. It's building a life so authentic that their approval becomes irrelevant.